Alright, everyone, time to take a look at the second episode of the day, which is Demon with a Golden Kick. A man is transporting animals in cages when he enters into a parking area. As he emerges to keep watch, is a cloaked man. It is a cloaked man in sunglasses. Is a cloaked man in sunglasses with Hawk on his arm. After whistling, the hawk flies off with a balloon in its claw. At Ryo's apartment, inspiring from Shoji at a booth which he hides under his pillow. Shoji complains that Ryo should wake up already. The hawk releases a balloon in the air while it flies, tormenting people, and Shoji continues to complain that Ryo wanted him to wake him up from being tired at work before giving up and leaving the booth. Getting an idea, the Temple Ranger uses the communicator yells, "There's a Gorman minion here!" Finally making Ryo wake up surrounded by clocks, yelling at Shoji where the monster is, but Shoji telling him that it's already morning, or they're yelling at him and being a bird brain before he hangs up. The Tin Ranger soon hears a scream of a girl being pursued by the giant bird as he catches her and raises her into the air, with him saving her, running with her, as Hawk pursues them until they hide in the telephone booth with the girl hiding. The Hawk soon lifts the telephone booth high into the air and flies them off, with them locked inside as they're flown to a quarry. Shoji continues to protect the girl as the cloaked man drives up and leaves a bus filled with animals and tells them he's not there to scare them, but wonders if the Dire Rangers can save the girl. He moves his hand, moving the phone booth around as they are thrown down the cliff, forcing Shoji to transform and grab the girl from harm. As he asks who the man is, the man leaps towards them before turning into a Gorman minion known as the Birdcage Vagrant. Forcing him to tell the girl as he runs, he sees he can't let it out, and that now she's a caged bird. Vagrant being forced to see the girl into a nest into its birdcage body. Shoji yells at the Gorman minion to give it back, but it's hit back when trying to attack. Forcing Temari to call Ryo Ranger for a real Gorman attack. But Ryo, eating breakfast, troubles Shoji lying again before Master Kaku gets on and says there actually is a Gorman and he should assist him. Forcing Ryo to run after nearly tripping on his alarm clocks. Birdcage Vagrants are shooting Shoji with his rifle. As Ryo rushes to him, leading to Temari Ranger being attacked and thrown into a nest in the Gorman minion. Even as Ryo changes to Ryo Ranger to try to save him. Wondering where he is, Shoji discovers the girl trying to watch over her as the hawk watches them both. Confronting Ryo Ranger, Birdcage Vagrant states his fake league is crying, demanding him to tell this to Master Kaku. If they want their friend back, they need to return his golden lake before summoning his hawk to attack Ryo. Stating adios, Gorman leaves as Zydos watches them while chugging down a beer. At Dire Ranger headquarters, Kaku questions why Ryo didn't come in Shoji's crisis, with him frustrating, as Kaku states it's a violation of the team code. Rin asks if the birdcage Vagrant will soon return, Shoji if the golden lake is returned, but the master doesn't know, revealing that the Gorman minion has a special lake that creates a deadly, unbeatable gold kick that couldn't be defeated even during the previous war between Dai and Gorma. However, he trusted his power too easily and drank himself down so much that the Dai tribe member cut off his leg and escaped with it. Losing his honor due to alcohol was a disgrace, and everyone mocked him for his failure. He was even kicked out of the Gorma tribes and disappeared. Ryo wonders what he meant by Kaku summoning his leg again, with him stating they'll soon find out. Saito sees Birdcage Vagrants buzzer towards him and stating it's been a while since they've met, and he should turn the Dire Rangers over to him. The Gorman mini appears on top of the bus, stating he won't take orders from him since he hasn't been a Gorman in ages. The journal wonders if a drunk like him can defeat the former, with the Birdcage Vagrant shooting Zynos with a gun and his wooden leg, stating if he wants to acquire the Dire Ranger, he has to bring him his leg, watching him run off cowardly while continuing to drink, stating he's been putting up with humiliation for 6,000 years and will be the most powerful Gorma once again. Ryo runs to the field before collapsing, complaining that he didn't want Shoji to wake him with his aura changer, and he should know the difference between what's acceptable and what's a joke. Birdcage Vagrant's hawk flies by, with Ryo following it, trying to make it stop, before the Gorma's bus drives by, nearly hitting him and tossing him aside before Birdcage Vagrant appears again. He asks where his leg is, but Ryo asks for Shoji and the girl back, forcing him to shoot a Ryo Ranger with his staff, but telling other Dai Rangers to meet up with him. Rio tries but fails to fight Birdcage Vagrant, forcing him to transform by being tossed around, where he keeps blocking the Dimenger's moves, until Rearranger uses Blaze Destruction, knocking him down and causing Shoji and the girl to shake within. Shoji hides the girl when he sees Rio outside yelling for him, as Rearranger threatens him, only for Birdcage Vagrant to reveal if he dies, those within him will die as well. Shoji tells him not to be deceived and kill him, but the Gorman minion reveals how his lake was stolen and sealed away 6,000 years prior. Likewise, realizing Kaku was listening in and stating he has the power to unseal it. Rio asks if what he's saying is true and to give the lake to him, but Kaku says he can't out of fear of Birdcage Vagrant will be stronger and he has to defeat him now and will release his captives even with the lake back. Rigatis asks that he'll defeat the Gorman minion if he just gives the lake back, but Birdcage Vagrant sees nobody hits him. The other Dimensions fight the Hog, who drops grenades towards them. With no other choice, Kaku disappears within his headquarters and appears within an ethereal plane where he uses his key to cause a pillar of water and release a container with a pot containing Birdcage Vagrant's leg. Telling him to release Shoji and the girl and he'll give him his leg back. Throwing Rio down, the Gorman mini asks for the leg, but Kaku says he does what he asks or the pot will be resealed. Finally forcing Birdcage Vagrant to relent as Kaku grabs the pot once again, preparing to give the leg back. But without warning, Zedus appears and wraps him with yo ropes. The general stating not to give in and he won't give his leg back even if he released the hostages before throwing the dilator to the ground. Firing yo energy, Zedus breaks the pot and gains the leg, allowing for it to reform his fake leg after 6,000 years, making him the demon with a golden kick again. We ask for Shoji, but the Gorman states he won't, saying he'll turn him in as a means to get back into the Gorma once again. Telling him to be prepared, Birdcage Vagrant leaps up and flies with his golden kick, hitting Rio and throwing Rearranger back into the ground. The Gormanian states he'll remember that for a long while. The other Dimensions appear and summon their diamond rods, but he uses a triple golden kick, throwing them all to the ground and calling them wimps as his hawk attacks him and flies back into his body. Within the cage, Shoji angrily tells the team to keep fighting before Birdcage Vagrant shoots them again, and the girl runs to him, scared. Preparing to finish him off, Birdcage Vagrant has his hawk fly out, but Shoji latches onto its leg and uses it to carry him and the girl out of the cage before falling to the ground. Vagrant is using his eyebuster to kill the hawk. Telling the girl to run, Shoji states he may have a golden kick, but it won't hurt him as he becomes Tenma Ranger. But the Gorman minion stops them from the roll call by shooting at them. Lee and Rio fighting the kick at the same time, before the two team up for a special super gravity wave, with the Rearranger and Tenma Ranger firing gravitational beams, making the Birdcage Vagrant's legs so heavy it's unable to be moved. They use the lightning blaze destruction to hit the strike with their team up. With no other choice, Birdcage Vagrant uses the growth bomb with the team looking for Daireno. The Gormanian tries the golden kick, but Scalper is thrown down and struck by the great electric shock of the Great King Sword before being finished off by the great storm and stress. Later, Shoji asks Rio while he's working if he was quiet about the misuse of the Order Changer, but he states it's nothing to be worried about. He offers to give him a ride, but when Rio states he's working, Shoji says he'll just take him to the restaurant, which he agrees to with their teamwork. Nice. So anyway, let's take a look at a note from this episode. The image sequence update to include Daimogen and the Heavy Armor Key Pals combination following their debuts in the previous episode. Nice. So overall, this episode is kind of interesting, and yeah, I definitely think that Shoji shouldn't have used his Order Changer communicator like that, so yeah. So overall, I give Demon with the Golden Kick 3 Megazords out of 5. By the way, tune in so we took the final episode of the day, and Idol's first experience. So until then, in the words of the wise wizard Zordon, may the power protect you.